Welcome to Eventful Endeavors, secrets to crafting the perfect celebration. If you're planning an event and looking for useful tips from industry experts, you're in the right place. So get ready to take some notes and we'll dive right in. This is Eventful Endeavors.
Welcome, everyone, to Eventful Endeavors. My name is Katie Louise. I'm your host, and I am here with Abby West, who I should say is from Idle Thyme or Bellyful Catering. She is the owner of two wonderful businesses, a catering company and a venue space. So, Abby, welcome to the podcast.
Hi, Katie. Thank you.
So, tell us a little bit. I know you said that your first company was the catering one, Bellyful Catering, and you've been doing it for quite some time. So tell us a little bit about how you got started and how it's going and how it's evolved.
Sure. Yeah. So we started Bellyful Catering in 2010. Our goal was to just kind of slowly grow that. My husband was also a business owner at the time, and then it was a matter of just us kind of combining forces and growing the company locally. And that has been going so for 16 years. It was through our kids going through school and graduating and everything. We just kind of were in a little town of Loa. It's kind of outside of Hillsboro. And then a couple of years ago, we bought 3 years ago, we bought 12 acres out here in Hillsboro. And so we've kind of created that catering company, moving it into an event space. It was always our dream to be able to do this, just because we travel to so many different venues. We'll still always do that, but it just felt like we should have our own too.
Yeah.
And it gave us an excuse to buy some land.
Yeah. Well, and a lot of venues have their catering companies built in.
Yes.
And it's very convenient for the bride too, right? Because she doesn't have to bring somebody else in.
Yeah.
So that's amazing. So you bought and it's Idle Thyme Farm, right?
Yes.
Is the name of it. And you
Mhm.
bought it how long ago?
3 years ago.
3 years ago.
3 years ago. Yeah, in 2023, just at the end of the year. It was just we were driving by. We weren't even quite ready for the move. But it was just it was just perfect. It's got this gorgeous view, this beautiful house, an event building, which we've obviously done a lot of work to, but there was a building out, 4,000 square foot building. So it just was perfect. It was like, okay, let's go look at it. And we made an offer and it kind of slowly happened and here we are.
The last 2 venue owners I talked to, I was really surprised to learn that they lived on the property. Do you guys happen to live there?
We do.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, yeah. I think it's really common. I think it's part of just because you're here so much and then you get to just, it's like we work on the property all day long, just taking care of it. And then for us having our commercial kitchen here also, it's like we never have to leave.
Right.
But it just makes a lot of sense for people to live on the property.
So yeah, that's so funny. That's so amazing. So when you first toured the property, you said there was a house, and I'm assuming that's like a different place than the reception venue.
Yes. So the house is actually in the middle of the property. It's 12 acres. There's a big, huge barn at the very front of the property. It's 7,000 square feet. We will eventually get that turned into a larger event space, but it's going to require a lot of work. So we're still working on that, but we went up the hill. There's a 4,000 square foot building. We turned that into our event space. So it's kind of a little bit on a hill. Our house is in the middle. Back behind our house is a beautiful garden, a waterfall, big willow tree, the event space. And yeah.
That's really cool. So you have 2 potential event spaces on the property. Right now, one is open for rentals.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. And one's completely finished.
Okay. Well, it's completely finished. I remember when we talked on the phone, you said there was 2 floors and the lower level wasn't finished, but I'm not sure.
No. That's probably the house that we were talking about at the time.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
The house is not finished, but Yeah, the event space is completely finished. We have a
Okay,
loft
cool.
that has rooms for people to get ready in,
Oh, very nice.
bathrooms, and then, just an open floor with a bar and all sorts of good stuff in it.
This is perfect. Um,
Yeah,
how long did it take to renovate it?
2 years.
2 years.
We just started having events there last summer.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And yeah, so we're fresh to that part of the market in terms of, having people here. And we do a lot of things, like just last weekend we did a grad party. So we've got a lot of grad parties coming up, celebrations of life, but weddings are, a
Right.
special kind of event. And yeah, but just this last year we've
Okay,
been
wow.
working on
So
it.
you're
Yeah.
1 year in, 1 year into booking events.
Yep.
So how's it been? I mean,
It's
what like
great.
did you get you I'm sure you probably had so many contacts just being
Yeah.
16 years catering experience that you had
Hmm.
all these people you could let
Yeah.
know. And then I mean, how has it been? Like, have you gotten the amount of business that you would want for your first year?
Yeah, absolutely. Because we still do over 150 weddings catering out of this place, like just in Hood River
Wow.
and the coast and in Oregon City and, Portland and things like that. So we already have just like a lot going on. So we knew that when we were doing this, like this is going to be slow rolling, but every time somebody comes out here and looks at it, they book it. So they're like, because it's just gorgeous. We have beautiful
Oh,
view and everything. So yeah, so it's been really exciting, but it is definitely just going at a comfortable pace, and that's what we wanted.
I mean, 100% conversion rate is pretty
Yeah.
impressive, right?
Yeah, I can't complain.
Yeah. So how many events, like, on average a week or a month do you guys do?
Catering wise,
No, just for the idle time.
we're just like doing like one a week
One
right
That's
now.
a lot. I
Yeah.
mean,
I
for a
mean,
brand new venue, that's
yeah.
amazing. So
Yeah, and we didn't do much in January or February. It's just kind of a slow time of year for everybody.
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you say you do like 150 events a year for catering, does that include I'm assuming you're catering all the events at Idle Time, right?
Yes, we are. We don't require that. Like if they wanted to have, like we just have this one client and her uncle owns a Mexican restaurant. So he's gonna cater it. And that's totally cool. Like, but obviously most of them we do cater. So yeah.
So the 150 is including the ones that you do at
Yeah.
Idle Time. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you and your husband, you do this. How many employees do you have for the catering company?
So we have 5 full-time employees, and then we have about 35 that we pull from that work other jobs, right? So it's like they are bartenders at other restaurants or they work property management or whatever, and they've just been doing it for years. We have a lot of college grads or college students that come back from college and work for us during the summer. So it's kind of a variety, but 5 full-time and then the 35 you know, that we pull from on the,
That's great.
when they're available.
Are you able to do two different events in one day?
Yeah, a lot of times we do 3.
That's amazing. That's
Yeah.
so cool.
So 150 is kind of on our low end, and that's mostly weddings. And then we do the grad parties and,
And then
the
once you
showers.
have this new event space, then you can do two on the property. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's
It'll be fun.
amazing. So on the venue side, how like involved are you in the planning with the brides? Like, are you there day of? Do you have a day of coordinator?
Yeah, I think so we're always on site, and I think that that's kind of it's more helpful than anything, but a lot of times it's because we're doing catering. But like having an event manager is something that we just provide anyways, even with the catering. So like Jamie or Colby or Tiana would be here, just making sure things are going well. They can hire their own coordinator if they want like somebody to help them with their timeline and, go through all that. But we help them with their food, their linens, their bar, where the best pictures are, things like
Yeah.
that. So
Yeah.
it's just kind of like I just love being a part of people's wedding day. So it's so much fun for us that we just can't help but be helpful.
Yeah. Do you get like emotional during
Yeah.
weddings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just, seeing people just kind of like having the happiest day of their life multiple times in a weekend doesn't get old. It doesn't.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
It just doesn't get old. It's just too special to watch them celebrating something and seeing how all the family comes and the friend comes together to like be so supportive. It's just really cool.
Yeah. Are there like what's like the moment at weddings that still gets you emotional, like just even after the 100th wedding, the 1,000th wedding you've been to?
Mm. I think it's dad's speech.
Really?
Or dad's walking down the aisle. And I think that's probably a little bit because of how special my dad is to me in my life.
Mm.
And then also, like, my husband, even though we have sons, like, he's such a special part of their life. So I think that just kind of like that dad moment where they get a little bit emotional. The bride gets really emotional. Everybody gets emotional because I don't know. It's just
Well,
a
you don't
special
see
part.
dads getting emotional very often.
Right.
And yeah. And I know you said you had kids. Like I have 2 young kids, and I can't even imagine like them being old enough to get married right now.
Right.
But I imagine that would just be like so emotional because you're flashbacking on all these years of like
Mhm.
growing up with them, and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
this is my baby. Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. My oldest son got married a few years ago, and we picked out a song to dance to, and I helped them plan the wedding, and they both have been in the industry for years with us, so they work for us and everything. So it was really easy for them to plan, and we just kind of went through this process, and it was really wonderful. And then I got up to dance with him and I just lost it. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, it's finally the day that I'm dancing with my
Yeah.
son. And
Yeah.
it was so emotional.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't even imagine it. I just felt like, isn't he still 4
Yeah.
and tiny?
Do you feel like you're more emotional at his wedding day or your wedding day?
I don't know. I mean, I definitely probably his. Like mine was really exciting. Like we were like, excited that we were getting married and moving on. But I think you're looking at it more just like it's like almost selfishly, like what you're getting to do now together. And when your son gets married, it's kind of like they're changing. They're in this whole nother chapter, and it's exciting for them. But it's kind of bittersweet as a parent.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, it's so sweet, but it's also like, okay.
Yeah, I mean, my son is 5, but I feel like I could already imagine that would be a more emotional experience than like
Mhm.
my wedding day. I remember I got like it was like one of the first times I got lash extensions
Oh.
because I knew that I was like I'm gonna cry, and if I
Mhm.
cry, if I have false lashes, they're gonna fall off. If I have
Yeah.
mascara, it's gonna whatever. So I got lash extensions, and then I didn't cry at all. And I was like, well, I don't know. So I didn't cry at all at my wedding. I'm like, but at my son's, I know I would, because that would just be so, yeah. It's funny, like I'm like emotional thinking about it. Again, my son is 5 years old, and like, so
Well, you'll
I
need
get
to get
that.
lash extensions on the day of his
I
wedding.
That's so funny. It's so funny because I would have expected most people, like for me, the part where I get the most emotional is the vows, I think.
Yeah.
When I'm watching, like just from the vendor side. So
Mhm.
but it is so interesting that your answer about the dad surprises me, but like now it makes so much sense also thinking about it from
Yeah.
that
Well,
perspective.
the other piece to that, Katie, is that probably 50% of the weddings nowadays, the vows are done prior. People are really choosing to do like private vows and or like, you know, and then they still have where the officiant has them promise to each other and everything, but it's less personal vows in front of everybody. It's more personal vows to each other, like they do a first look and then they say their vows just to each other, with the photographer being the only person there. And when you see that, that's pretty emotional, but you can't hear what they're saying. Then their vows are a little bit more, they're
Generic.
generic. We're being united together, and they talk about family and things like that, but it's less about that than anymore.
That's really interesting. I have not noticed that trend
Yeah,
here in at least SoCal. I haven't noticed that. I wonder if it's a more regional thing.
it
Like,
could be for sure.
yeah, I have not noticed that. Like most of because we get hired often to do like music for ceremonies or maybe they are generic vows and I didn't realize it. I don't know. Maybe I'm sitting here crying and it's not even the real thing.
It might be, but it
Yeah.
could be a regional thing too. The other thing that's becoming more and more popular is that the couple will do a ceremony just in front of like 20 people, and then they'll have a reception for like 150.
Yeah.
Um, so their ceremony is just much more private. And I
Yeah.
think that, I love them all. They're all different. Either
I
way, it's about comfort.
I have seen that a couple times where we're just hired for the reception and like nothing, that's it. That's the whole thing. And I know that the first look has become a lot more popular as well.
Yeah.
So I didn't realize, I think, so much that the vows were happening during that. But do you have any are there any wedding trends that you secretly wish would disappear?
No, I guess because like they all have their place, right? And I have to be careful because I do understand that like everybody has like certain budgets and they have certain things that they're working with, and it really becomes like it's about them, right? Like what kind of music they want, what kind of florals they're having, even how they're dressing, because like a lot of times we'll see like the same color all summer long.
Like like
And it's like
sage green
yep.
has
Yeah.
been so popular.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden it's like, "Ooh, is it changing? Are we gonna do blue this year?" Because it'll be like all blue all year long,
Yeah.
just those trends or whatever. But I like it. I think it's fun. I think it's expected to be trendy, like a little bit. With social media now, and like Pinterest and all the things, like it's too hard for people not to like fall in love with what's like popular,
Right.
because I look
Yeah.
back at my wedding and I'm like, I really did that, huh? That was really hot, right? At that
I know.
moment, like,
You wonder like what your kids, well, I wonder what my kids are going to think cuz my mom, when I saw her wedding picture, she had like the headband that went like this and the puffy sleeves,
yeah,
and it must have been in. And
yeah,
I think I asked her once like, are you still happy with your wedding dress? And she's like, it's gorgeous. What are you talking about? Like she was still in love with it. So
totally, yeah.
I remember like when I feel like in middle school, I'm the youngest of five, so I watched a lot of my siblings grow up and get married, and I feel like during that time
Mhm,
there was like it was like the ruched dress,
mhm,
like right
yeah,
around that, and then
yeah.
yeah. So it is funny to see how the different trends. Do you have like any weddings that are so memorable to you, or like the theme or the dress or whatever kind of sticks out?
I mean, there's been a couple, like, I feel, and maybe, I don't know if you get this a lot where you're at, but in Oregon, we get like, so certain venues kind of have like, they pull in different people, right? So we can do a wedding in a barn or in a campground, and it's very, organic and natural and mystic fairy-ish. And then you have like the ones that are in a winery and everybody is wearing black, but the bride is in white. And it's like super like classic black and white, clean, and it's like, and that can be on a Friday and on a Saturday, like
Yeah.
you're going from one to the next. So it's really hard. Like we've had weddings where people like the bride and groom were brought in on the helicopter. That was really cool, but I mean, choreographed dances were really popular last year, like had a lot of dancing, so that kind of sticks out a lot. But we also have like fun things that people bring in, which are really like, I think it's really fun when you can do like interactive stuff. So like there's llamas, alpacas, and you can bring them in and they are dressed as in a little tux and in a little wedding dress, and you give them a carrot and you put a carrot in your mouth and they give you a kiss,
That is
like
so cool.
it's just fun stuff like that where I'm like, I love like the interactive stuff
Yeah.
for your guests, because
I've
like,
never heard of a llama, like feeding a
yeah.
llama a carrot at a wedding. That's really cool. One of my
Yeah.
favorites was I went to a wedding where they hired a tattoo artist to give
Oh,
tattoos to all the guests.
wow. That would
Yeah.
be fun.
So they
That
had
would be
like
really
this
fun.
whole station and you could wait in line to get a free tattoo.
Yeah,
Complimentary of the
I'd be
bride.
all up with that.
Yeah. Yeah, that one was really cool. Another one of my favorites is I did a Phantom of the Opera wedding once.
Ooh,
And that was really fun, especially on the music side of it, because we got to do all that music. But she had
yeah.
like her programs were like a playbill almost
Oh, okay.
for her ceremony.
Yeah.
And then she wore like a black and white like
Ooh.
dress. It was kind of like almost like a gothic themed wedding
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
So we did a lot of like emo music and Panic at the Disco, and it was really fun.
That's cool.
And I think she had like like they were like big musical theater people, so like her whole bridesmaids and groomsmen were all like Broadway actors because she lived in New York City for a while, and so they all did this like intro, like for their intro for the bride and groom. They were on this balcony and they all came up and like had lines where they introduced her, and then like
Oh my
right when they
gosh.
came out, we had like the DJ played like the da 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 da, like it's just
Wow.
yeah.
How cool.
Yeah. I feel like that's one of the best parts of like working in the wedding industry is you just like
Uh-huh.
every weekend you're seeing like people's artistic visions come
Yeah.
to life, you know?
Yeah. No,
So-
it's true. Like you just sometimes you don't even know what to expect. Like on our end, it's like we're bringing food and we like might know what like the china looks like or whatever, but then you show up and you're like, wow, they really like, created something special.
do you
So
ever
yeah,
get special requests with food or like the plates or napkins?
all the time. Yeah. People are really into, like making it theirs. So they'll choose specific china, flatware, glassware, and then, they'll choose specific foods too. We have like some really like common packages for them to choose from, but we'll do like, a Jamaican Asian fusion
Wow.
because he's Jamaican, she's Asian, and they just like, they want a fusion. And so it's like, all right, let's work together on that. So there's a lot of that fun stuff kind of happening. Or I get like cultural, like moms who are like, I want this at my son's wedding. And so I'm going to give you this recipe and you're going to learn how to make mole like I make mole. And I'm like, okay, let's do it,
Wow.
And that's very, because,
I'm not really impressed by the ask. Like, I'm impressed that you say yes. That's the part
Yeah.
I'm like shocked about.
Well, for me on my end of it, like we have a very Americanized food. I
Right.
haven't had time to travel like I want to travel yet. So at some point though, that's on my list. But like learning how to make something more authentic from a mama, like I am down with that. Like I'll take a recipe and we'll work together because they always leave something out of the recipe. It's always their like secret, or they're like, oh no, I only use this much. And I'm like, no, you put twice as much in there, when we're making this. So, but it's just fun. It's part
So
for
like,
me.
how does this all work? Like, does Abuelita like come into your commercial kitchen and give you classes? Like, that's how.
Which is
wow.
once. Yeah. It's like, I prefer, not, like, I'll tell them, like, I'm not making tortillas from scratch. Like,
Okay.
unless they want to pay for it. I mean, obviously, but like when you're doing that stuff, there's only so many levels, right? So they can either
Right.
bring them
Right.
in and I'll use theirs, or they can,
Do I mean?
Yeah.
Please tell me you. Well, I shouldn't say this, but like, please tell me you charge extra for like
yeah,
this kind of customization.
yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. Like it really depends on how important it is. Some people, Katie, they'll never meet me. They'll talk to me on the phone one time. They book our services and that's it. And they're like, just event package number 2. And I'm like, cool. And they're on with it. And they'll spend thousands of more dollars on florals or photography or whatever. Like the food is not the important part. For some people, it is the most important part. Like if it was me, it would be the most important part. For my son's wedding, it was the most important part, and that's when they'll pay more. They want the experience. They want things to be authentic. And so that's how that works.
Yeah, I feel like that's so incredible. Just that you're willing to like put that type of like extra
Yeah.
customization in. Like, I'm sure that's got to be unique to you guys because I'm sure that most catering companies do not let Oma come in the kitchen and give her lessons. That's
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah, it's been fun. It has been fun. We also just cook on site only. So there's another piece to that. I don't know, like, I've never had anything catered by anybody else, so I don't really know, but like if they are cooking on site or not. But we load up and we travel sometimes 2 to 3 hours. We've traveled 8 hours before for a wedding, and then we unload and we cook on site. So that way people are getting that, you know, really fresh meal versus something that's been in a box for a couple of hours. And that, in
Right.
the end, that was kind of why we wanted this place. It's like, I want to be able to cook forever, like, and be able to provide this service and have these beautiful farm to table dinners and have these weddings and just not have to do so much traveling.
Yeah.
So
That
I don't
yeah.
mind it, but I don't want to do it forever.
Yeah. No, I get that. It seems like it's pushing you in a direction where you can do a little bit less work. Like eventually
Yeah.
if you're booked up more in the
Yeah.
space, you could just get out of bed and then
Yeah.
walk just a little bit and start
Yeah,
cooking. So
we kind of actually fight over the events that are at our house, like my husband and I at our place, because I'm like, I don't want to go to Hood River today. I've gone to Hood River yesterday, or like into Oregon, or like Oregon City or Portland or whatever. I'm like, so we fight over the ones where we just get to stay
rock,
here.
paper, scissors. That's what you gotta do.
Because it's nice, and it's really, there's something very special about it because we've built this place ourselves, I mean, not the actual buildings, but when we moved in and bought this property, the owners had not lived here for 2 years. So there was a lot of things that were like really overgrown. There was vehicles that were like just parked in the ground, and had things growing in them and stuff. So it feels special. Like we put our special touch on this. It's
Yeah.
fun. It's
You
really cool.
mentioned farm to table. So tell me more about the farm part.
Yeah, so it's really exciting. We've been able to do some trade work, but also just in the last couple of years, we've added, gosh, it's like 45 different apple trees, 30 some odd pear trees. We have blueberry, blackberry, raspberry, strawberry, and nectarberry, which is a family heritage berry that I have from my family. Beautiful herb garden. We have a beautiful vegetable garden. And so the idea is that that's all going to be, coming back, and cherry trees and all the things. So we're really just planting things here that we can use in our farm to table dinners, at events, things like
So
that. We
it's
have the space
all
to do it.
produce. All produce, right?
Yes.
No
All
no
produce.
cows.
Not yet.
Okay.
Our animals will not be for food. So we do actually have, so we have 24 chickens. We do use their eggs. We sell their eggs. We have a couple of ducks. We have 3 little pigs. They are not so little anymore. And they're really fun. They're so much like dogs that there's no way they're ever gonna be able to be dinner. Like, there's just no way. And the same with, and I know people who do this all day long. My brother actually has animals for that purpose, but it seems kind of funny because we're a catering company, but I can't do it. Like, our pigs are so cute. We have a black pig. His name is Sirius, Harry Potter. And then Hammy, he's our other little boy. And it's because he shows off everywhere he goes. He's like showing off. And then our little girl is Jelly Bean. And
Aw.
she's just like the sweetest little thing. And they're
Okay,
they're
but
like
when you
150
got
pounds.
them, when you got them,
Nope.
did you already know they weren't going to be food?
Yes, I
Okay.
did. My husband didn't. He thought for sure, like, oh, we're getting pigs so that, and then he fell in love with them so much too. Like, I could catch him down there every night, just like brushing them clean and like, giving them treats and stuff like that.
So you're not a vegetarian though, are you?
No, I just, they're so cute.
I get
They're
it.
like
You
dogs.
have a personal relationship with these animals. I totally get that.
And
Yeah.
we do want to have like goats and a couple Highland cattle and, just fun stuff. But so many times, like when people are here, they want to visit with the animals and they
Like
want to give them
petting zoo,
treats,
yeah,
like a petting
yeah.
zoo thing.
Yeah.
And goats and a cute little miniature donkey or something like that.
Aw, yeah.
I don't know. We got the
So-
room to do it, so we're doing it.
The produce and dairy is farm to table, but not the
Yeah.
meat. Not the
Not
meat.
the
Got
meat.
it.
Well, there's a lot of other really sweet local farms next, close to us in like Carlton and stuff, and I'll get my meat there. Like
Yeah.
I definitely am always supporting the local organ, but I just can't
That's
do it
good.
myself.
You just, yeah. It's funny. It's funny when you see, like, I don't know if you ever watch Survivor, but
Yeah.
these people that like are starving and then they get a chicken and then they argue over whether or not they can eat
Yeah.
the chicken.
Yeah.
Because it's hard when you actually are the one looking at them, So, well, it's been so great to talk to you and learn more
It's been
about your
fun.
venue. Is there anything you wanted to talk about that we didn't touch on yet?
I don't think so. I mean, yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah,
We're
I
really
feel
excited to be moving forward and making changes and stuff. So
yeah. I feel like I could ask you 50 more questions, but I know I have to wrap this up. So,
yeah.
but I am excited to stay in touch with you and see how everything develops and how
Yeah.
the new event space comes and how the animals come and grow up and you add to it. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
You'll have to come out sometime
yeah, I will
and see
definitely
it.
for sure.
Yeah.
Well, Abby, it's been so great to talk with you. So where can people find you both for the catering and for the farm?
Yeah. So we're Bellyful Catering and then Idle Thyme Farm and Events. And we have websites and Instagram right now. And there's pictures and lots of information. They can email me.
And can you spell Idle Thyme?
Yeah. So it's Idle, IDLE, and then Thyme, like the herb, THYME.
It's a little
It's
bit of
the-
a pun. Though.
It is.
Right.
It is. And Bellyful kind of was too, like, because it just kind of, turned out that way.
It rolls
but-
off the tongue a little bit.
Yeah. But idle time is just because, when you're out here, we want people to feel like they're just relaxing. We have a lot of things on the property, like with games and even frisbee golf, and we have a sport court and stuff. And so people come out here just to relax, pick
That's
some fruit,
amazing.
things like that. One thing I should mention is we do have events coming up where they are open just to the public. So we do a fall festival, we do a holiday social, we have like mahjong nights and bingo nights and things like that. So if you follow us on Instagram, you'll see invitations and things like that, or subscribe to our site. We send out monthly newsletters of what we're doing. So just really fun stuff that you don't have to be getting married to come hang out with us.
That is so cool. That is great. Wow.
Yeah.
You guys do a
So,
lot. Well, it was
it'll be
so
fun.
great meeting you. And one more time, Bellyful Catering or Idle Thyme is where you can find Abby in this beautiful event space. And yeah, hopefully we stay in touch and we'll hear the updates eventually.
For
All
sure.
right. Thank you
Thanks,
guys
Katie.
for tuning in. This is Eventful Endeavors, and that's our time.
Thanks for listening to another episode of Eventful Endeavors, Secrets to Crafting the Perfect Celebration. We hope to have left you with some actionable ideas for your own event. If you like the show, please subscribe and definitely leave us a review. We read every comment. So until next time, happy planning and see you soon on Eventful Endeavors.